I am 83 years old, and I'm going to tell you something they don't put in the brochures. They show you pictures of people laughing in the garden, playing bingo, a nice young nurse bringing you a cup of tea. It looks clean. It looks safe. It looks fine. This place is clean. It is safe. And it is the loneliest I have ever been in my life. I'm not here because I had a stroke and forgot who my children are. I'm not here because I'm a danger to myself. I'm here because my hip healed slower than they thought it would. And somewhere between the hospital bed and that family meeting, the word temporary got a new definition. My name is Eleanor. I was a librarian for 43 years. I could tell you the Dewey Decimal System backwards. I could look at a person walking through the door and hand them the exact book they didn't know they were looking for. My mind is still sharp as a tack. I remember the name of every cat I've ever owned. I remember the smell of my grandmother's kitchen on a Sunday morning. I remember the sound of my husband's key in the lock at 5:47 every evening. I remember. So let me be clear. I wasn't sick enough to be here. That's the part that gets stuck in my throat. I wasn't sick. I was just old and inconvenient. It was a Tuesday. My son Michael, he flew in from Chicago. My daughter Sarah, she drove down from the city. They sat on the edge of my hospital bed, holding those little cups of ice chips, looking at me with those faces. You know the faces. The ones where they've already made up their minds, and they're just waiting for you to agree so they can feel better about it. It's just for a little while, Mom, Sarah said, squeezing my hand. Her hands are soft. She hasn't done a day of hard work in her life. Just until you're back on your feet. The apartment has stairs. You can't do stairs right now. It's the best option, Michael added. He was looking at his watch. He always looks at his watch. For your safety. We can't be here 24/7, and you can't be alone. Safety, that word. They wrap you up in that word like a blanket. For your safety. They said it over and over. It sounded so reasonable. It sounded so temporary. I trusted them. They're my children. I changed their diapers. I kissed their scraped knees. I believed them when they said it was just until I got my strength back. That was 14 months ago. The first few days you're in a fog. They bring you to this room. It's a nice room. The walls are a soft, forgettable blue. There's a window that looks out onto a parking lot and a little patch of grass they call a garden. The bed is adjustable. You can make the head go up and down with a button. It's not my bed. My bed had a dent on the left side from where I slept for 50 years. This bed is perfectly flat. It doesn't know me. The staff are polite. They are always, always polite. They call you dear and honey, and they smile, but their eyes are on their watches too. They have a schedule. Breakfast at 8, lunch at 12, dinner at 5. You don't eat when you're hungry. You eat when it's time. You get a shower on Tuesdays and Fridays at 10 a.m. unless there's an emergency, and then you get it at 3 p.m. You don't decide. You're just processed. At first you think, okay, it's an adjustment. It's a hotel, a hospital hotel. I'll be out of here in a few weeks. I'll go home. I'll sit in my own chair. I'll make my own toast when I feel like it. I'll read my book without someone turning on the television at full volume in the common room. But the weeks turned into months, and the emptiness, it's not a loud thing, it's quiet. That's what gets you, the silence. Not the absence of sound, but the absence of your life, the absence of choice. Safety is not the same as belonging. I'll say that again. Safety is not the same as belonging. You can be in the safest room in the world, with padded corners and a call button by your hand, and still feel like you're disappearing. The routine here, it replaces your will. You stop thinking for yourself because there's nothing to think about. The decisions are all made. What's for dinner? Doesn't matter. It's on the tray. Should I go for a walk? No, it's too cold, or it's too hot, or it's almost time for the medication cart. You don't fight it. You just stop. And the worst part? The part that keeps me awake at night staring at that ceiling. People stop asking your opinion. They stop caring what you think. My daughter calls every Sunday. Hi, Mom, how are you? The weather is nice. The kids are fine. Gotta go. Click. She doesn't ask me what I think about the news. She doesn't ask me for advice on that boy she's dating, the one with the loud car. I'm not her mother anymore. I'm a responsibility, a box she checks off on her to-do list. Michael came to visit last month. He brought his little boy, my grandson. He's 7. He stood in the doorway, holding his tablet, looking at the floor. He didn't want to be here. You could feel it. The room was so cold, I could see my own breath, emotionally speaking. I tried to ask him about school. He just shrugged. Michael stood there, shifting his weight from foot to foot. He didn't sit down. 15 minutes, that was his visit. 15 minutes. And I sat there in my adjustable bed with my soft blue walls, and I felt like a ghost they'd come to check on. Is she still here? Yep, still here. Okay, let's go. The loss isn't the comfort. The food is fine. The bed is fine. The loss is control. It's the little things. The freedom to have a cup of coffee at 3 a.m. if you can't sleep. The freedom to leave a book on the floor. The freedom to be alone when you want to be alone, and to have company when you want company. That's all gone. It disappears quietly, not with a bang, not with a fight. It just seeps out of the room while you're watching the clock, waiting for dinner. You stop being a person. You become a resident, a patient, a case number. You become the old lady in 203, the one whose son lives in Chicago. I see the new ones come in. They have that look, the same look I had, scared but trying to be brave, telling their families, it's okay, I understand, you go on. And the families, they're relieved. You can see it in their shoulders. They get to leave. They get to go back to their lives. They walk out that front door and they don't look back. And the new person, they sit on the edge of their flat, forgettable bed and they wait. For what? They don't even know anymore. I watch the old-timers, the ones who've been here for years. They sit in the common room, in front of the blaring television, and they don't see it. Their eyes are empty. They've given up. They've forgotten they ever had a choice. They just wait for the next tray, the next pill, the next time someone wheels them to the garden to look at the parking lot. I'm not one of them, not yet. I still get angry. I still write letters to my children that I tear up because they sound too angry, too desperate. I still remember my own name, Eleanor, the librarian, the woman who knew where everything was. So this is my soft warning. I'm not going to tell you what to do. That's not my place. I'm just going to tell you what happened to me, how fast it happened, how the word temporary became a life sentence. One day you're in your apartment with your dented bed and your own coffee maker and your books on the shelf. And the next, you're in a clean, safe room, waiting for someone to remember you exist. You out there, the one listening, the one with parents getting older, or maybe you're the one getting older yourself. Think carefully. Think very carefully before you let someone else decide where you belong, before you let the word safety become a cage, before you trade the mess and the noise and the glorious freedom of your own life for a clean, quiet room where no one asks your opinion, because you might not get a chance to change your mind. And the silence, it's louder than you think.